Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history.
Wow. So, according to President Donald Trump, raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020 was buried by what he called rogue bureaucrats, and that it detailed an attempt by China to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. If true, this reaches past a simple data breach and into the integrity of the vote itself and the legitimacy of the republic. So in this analysis, we'll avoid falling into conclusions like deep state scapegoats as well as Democrat excuses of Trump wants to win the midterms. This pertains to the integrity of the whole American political system. Trump's central claim is that China wanted him to lose in 2020 because of his strict policy toward Beijing and moved to manufacture ballots to make that happen. China's foreign ministry called the allegation fabricated, and the Chinese embassy in Washington stated Beijing has never interfered in a US presidential election. Here's the baseline those claims are measured against. A previously declassified assessment already established the government's official position on 2020. Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, and Hezbollah attempted to damage Trump's campaign, and Russia attempted to damage Biden's. And China, according to that same assessment, held back. Federal investigators at the time found no evidence any foreign power manipulated actual election results. That's the record Trump's new claim has to overturn, and, so far, no new evidence of vote manipulation has been presented alongside it. But, of course, this Chinagate scandal has just started, so further evidence might come along in the following days. The most detailed new material in this release is about Venezuela. Trump said newly declassified intelligence shows a CIA-tracked plot to tilt Venezuela's own election toward Nicolas Maduro's regime using Smartmatic voting technology. A declassified CIA memo did confirm Venezuela ran an internal experiment that swapped votes in a way that survived a post-election audit undetected. But that same memo drew a hard line the administration's language blurs. The intelligence community determined neither Smartmatic nor the Venezuelan government ever had the capability to manipulate an election outside Venezuela. Smartmatic itself called the broader US rigging allegations baseless and long debunked, and its software currently runs in exactly one American jurisdiction, Los Angeles County. Much of this narrative traces back to Hugo Carvajal, Venezuela's former military intelligence chief who pleaded guilty last year to narco-terrorism and drug trafficking charges and may now be cooperating against Maduro, who US forces captured and brought to New York to face his own narco-trafficking case. But before we continue, let me ask you, do you think China actually had something to do with the 2020 election result? Tell us in the comment section. And if you're enjoying this analysis so far, take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you know as soon as we drop a new video. Separately, a January 2020 National Intelligence Council report, also part of this release, found that China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea all had some capability to access voter databases and poll books. But the report added an important caveat. Because US elections are run locally by thousands of separate counties, any breach would likely stay small and would be extremely difficult to scale into something that changes a national outcome. That distinction matters because it's the same one the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency draws today, treating election systems as critical infrastructure that needs protecting against phishing and unauthorized access without treating a scaled national manipulation as the realistic threat. The Department of Homeland Security has now pledged to brief states and help patch known technical weaknesses before the November midterms. So why is 6 years of material surfacing in the same week? A few explanations are on the table, and none of them alone fully accounts for the timing. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer argued this is about the midterms, that a party facing a difficult House and Senate map benefits from changing the subject. Then again, that's coming from an opposing congressional leadership whose ideal scenario is to have a crushing Democrat majority. Nonetheless, treating it as the whole story undersells how much else is moving at once. Maduro is in custody for narco-trafficking charges tied directly to the same Venezuelan intelligence network cited in these documents. The administration's straight conflict with Beijing has been a live front for years, and Trump has directly tied China's alleged 2020 motive to his own tariff policy. And DHS is using the same release to launch an election security push ahead of 2026, meaning part of the disclosure is being framed as infrastructure hardening, not just political messaging. A single cause, isolated explanation, midterms, or trade war, or the Maduro case alone, is easier to say out loud than it is to prove. A more realistic claim might be that geopolitical adversaries and serious security flaws are concrete and sprawling risks and are affecting the republic's integrity, which now political factions want to flag for electoral gains. Now, one more thread worth pulling is that CIA Director John Ratcliffe issued his own statement on the same documents Trump cited. Ratcliffe said the material shed further light on China's intentions and on Venezuela's capabilities. He did not say foreign interference changed the 2020 outcome. That gap between the president's language on stage and his own CIA director's written statement is arguably the most measurable fact in this entire story. Two officials looking at the same documents choosing very different words. Take the full cast together. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Venezuela, Cuba, Hezbollah, and the real story isn't any single actor's guilt. That's never the case in current geopolitics. That Cold War dynamic is now long gone. It's that the US has known for years that its election infrastructure sits within reach of half a dozen hostile governments, and the debate in Washington right now is less about whether that's true and more about who gets to say so and when. So here's the question worth sitting with. If the vulnerability has been known since at least 2020, why is patching it only becoming a national priority in an election year? And would it be happening at all if the politics weren't pointing that direction? What do you think drove the timing here? Politics, prosecution, policy, or some mix none of us can fully separate? Tell us in the comment section. Because this is important. Bringing truth to the light is fundamental when talking about one's country. And that is exactly our mission. We are Big Picture Originals, a brand powered by Brazil Paralelo, driven by a small team that seeks to bring to you high-quality productions that connect audiences with the culture, history, and values that give purpose to life. To achieve our goal, every kind of support means the world. So if you feel related and you enjoyed this video, drop a heart like. Let us know your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and share this video with anybody that you feel might appreciate it. And if you want to get early access to our releases, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen right now. See you in our next brief.